So the first accelerators what LTI has is the rapid adopt. So it's a cloud assessment tool wherein whenever a customer embarks a journey on cloud, the first thing they need to do is do the complete assessment of their current on-premise infrastructure and application, that how they can move that workload onto the cloud. So as per Gartner also, there are different strategies for migrating onto the cloud. That is either we can do rehost or replatforming or re-architecting of the application which might be required. So there are different methodologies for which using which we can move on to the cloud. So let me give you a background about this rapid adopt tool, that how we have come up with this tool. So initially when our customers, existing customers, used to come to us and ask us like, can you help us with the migrating our workloads to the cloud. So we used to do it in a little manual way, wherein we created a list of all the infrastructure and application components, wherein depending upon the technology what they are using, we created a knowledge fabric. What we now has used that knowledge fabric, it has a list of almost like 16,000 application points, application infrastructure points, through which we come to know that whether the particular application can be hosted onto the cloud or not, or you need to have some kind of changes to your or upgradation to your environment. So that kind of repository with what we are using underneath this rapid adopt platform. So coming up on the deployment models, you see this rapid adopt tool consists of two components. One is scanner server, which gets deployed onto your on-premise, and the another is analyzer server. So scanner server, what it does is, it is while it is deployed onto your infrastructure on-premise, it fetches the details like hardware, network, what are the interfaces there are, what are the application stack, what are the services running on, what kind of operating system you are running on. It scans all those information and send it to analyzer server. So analyzer server will, depending upon this information fetched by scanner server, will give you what kind of workloads you are running on, what is the topology look like, the current and on the cloud, how it will look like, what are the different operations factor, what are the business factors, and what are the cost metrics. How it does is basically it uses this dynamic customizable knowledge fabric of rapid adopt and comes up with mapping of your application, depending upon like when you say mapping, it's basically application to application mapping or infra to application mapping. It gives all those things and helps us to create different kind of move group planning also. So that is very critical while we are migrating our workloads from on-premise to the cloud, and it also gives us the right sizing based on the utilization. Okay, so what is the best fit for you to migrate onto the cloud. So let me jump directly onto the cloud, this rapid adopt demo, and I'll show you, once we have done the assessment and when we have analyzed it, how we can see the output basically. Okay, so let me jump onto the demo part. This one, yeah. So this is the rapid adopt platform, and in this you can see this is the we have taken certain set of application, almost like 17 applications we have taken, and you can see all the dependency upon the Umbraco application, SharePoint, on what all application this application depends. It gives you all those details. Okay, so let me jump directly to a certain one application, that is OpenEMR, or I can take so OpenEMR. I can I'll show you what all details we get through this platform. Okay, the first thing what it gives us is the cloud feasibility analysis. When I say that feasibility analysis, like whether your application can be moved to a certain cloud or not, or on how it determines that. So for OpenEMR application, we are comparing it with 3 cloud providers as of now, that is Microsoft Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. Again, it depends, like if you want to do only with Google Cloud or only with Azure or AWS, we can do that. But and it gives you the feasibility index, like yes, it is, this application is cloudable. Okay, but on what basis it gives you? There's something called cloud compatibility chart, wherein These are the important 5 factors which we compare and come up with the inference that this application can be cloudified or not. So these are application services, your platform, your hardware, your operating system can be is compatible to the public cloud or not, or your network topology. And here you can see it gives us the details what all applications VM your application is running, that is Apache Apache Web is running here, your .NET is there, your Java is installed. So it gives you the list of all the applications, and the most important thing it gives is here is resource efficiency ratings. When I say efficiency ratings, it gives in a scale of 0 to 5. 5 is something which is completely amenable to the cloud. You don't need to do any kind of changes to your application. You can just directly do in lift and shift. 4 is something you might need to do small changes regarding upgradation or licensing, okay, which can be easily remediated, and then you can move on to the cloud. And 0 is something you better not move to the cloud. Reason being, you have to completely re-architect or recode or rewrite your entire application for making it amenable to the cloud. So it gives you a sum view here, and if I click on detail view, it gives us a reasoning also why I am given 4 number, why I have given 5 number, all those things. So here you can see due to some licensing constraint it is saying that it's 4, otherwise it's 5. Okay, so going forward on to the identified software platform patterns, it gives you all this software is installed onto this application VM. It gives you the hardware details also, like how much CPU, memory or hard disk is configured on this VM, what is the operating system, what is the system information, all those things. So using, like, considering these all details, this tool will tell you whether your application is amenable to the cloud or not. So you can definitely download a report from here, and you can later on analyze it or share with the stakeholders how well they can like how their application is feasible to the cloud or not. And the next important thing is gives you the cloud operation analysis. Again, this is very important, because now you know that through the feasibility analysis, yes, your application can be moved to the cloud, but how my application will look onto the cloud, so that is also very important. And here the one of the important thing is it gives you the PaaS advisory services, wherein it will tell you that yes, your is there any component of your application can be pacified, okay, or your application itself can be sassified. It gives you all those details. So fine, in my case, in this OpenEMR application, I have a database which is MySQL, okay, and we have 2 options for hosting it onto the cloud. Either I can use it on IaaS model, okay, where I will deploy a virtual machine and then migrate the SQL, or I can directly host it onto a PaaS platform using on AWS. We have something called Amazon Aurora or RDS, okay, we can use that. Okay, one of the important other thing is it gives you the topology also. When I say topology, see, if you see here in OpenEMR application, it has 2 virtual machines. Okay, so one is hosting application VM, another is hosting database VM. So this is the original topology, but there can be possibility that since you have on-premise, you have already procured the resources and you have enough space for your application VM or database VM to be provisioned. So you can, since resources are lying idle, you can use more resources. Although the application doesn't demand it, we might do that. But depending upon the criticality and when you move on to the cloud, you have to have some kind of you have to have a constraint, right? Because for all the, like, whatever you consume on the cloud, you have to pay for that. It's not like you have paid it everything in advance. So if for me application is not critical, I'll click on simple. It will tell me, okay, if you want to go with the simple deployment model, so it's better you can host your application VM as well as database VM on a single virtual machine. So you can see here, like on a single server, I have my OpenEMR, like my Apache WebCap is also there, and PHP, MySQL, everything is deployed onto a single server. But if for me, if this application is really critical, I'll click on high availability, and it will tell me what all different components you require to host into cloud on a high availability model. So you can see here we have load balancer here, which is connected to these web servers. Okay, and then we have RDBMS is there, that's database server. We have file system also, and different my application components are installed here. So depending upon the high performance requirement, I can go with the topology. If I go to hot swap, again it is like two components actively running onto on my cloud. So this is very important to know what topology, depending upon the criticality, you are going to deploy onto the cloud. And you can see same CPU, memory utilization, network IOPS, all these details are definitely required while doing the assessment of what bandwidth I need to have for my applications to host onto the cloud, what utilization, obviously resource utilization I need to consider for, so that I can, based on these recommendations, I can create a cloud foundational services on which after that I can host my all application or migrate my all applications there. So this is also very important. Now we know that yes, my application is feasible, how I'm going to host onto the cloud, but the most important thing this tool provides you is helping you to create business analysis. When I say business analysis, it gives you without moving on to the cloud, it helps you to evaluate, like calculate how much cost you are going to incur for hosting this your infrastructure, your entire application stack onto the cloud. So again, you can see here, depending upon the topology, how you are going to how much cost you are going to incur on Azure, AWS or Google Cloud. Again, this is dynamic. Again, I can fetch it, I can have a connectivity directly to the cloud provider portal, and it will fetch the rates dynamically there. And or if I want to do some kind of a markup on the existing hosting charges for my certain BUs, I can do that also. So this gives you the hosting charges, and the other important thing is gives you the recommended cloud VM details. This is what I was mentioning initially, that on source side you have 7 GB VM, okay, 7 GB memory is there, and 2 vCPUs are there. What is the equivalence match onto the cloud, and based on utilization, whether you are utilizing it 100% or 50% or 10%, it gives you, based on the utilization of your virtual machine, it gives you what is the most appropriate type of sizing of the virtual machine you have to provision, because GCP provides customizable VMs, but most of the cloud providers, they go with the standard sizing VMs, okay, t-shirt sizing. So it helps us to provision right sizing based on the utilization. And the other thing, very important thing is talk about the cloud migration cost. So hosting is one aspect of the cost I'm going to incur, okay, but there are additional costs definitely involved for managing that infrastructure on cloud. So when it comes to cloud managed services, or I need to configure some kind of DR, or I need to some kind of calculate the network bandwidth utilization, the egress traffic cost, okay, so I can have that kind of calculation already here. So let me show you. If I click on modify cost, I get the flexibility to change these values according to my requirements, and hence we can calculate the cost, okay, how much cost I'm going to incur for migrating or managing this application onto the cloud. So these are three important things which this cloud rapid adopt provides to our end customers after the assessment, and based on this we can do the cloud foundation, and then later on use it to do the migration also. So another tab I just want to highlight here, we are still working on it, it's not in go live, but there's something called accessibility analysis, wherein we are trying, if I need to specify this application, this SaaS based model, instead of hosting it onto IaaS or basing it PaaS based, okay, so we are working on that also. That's in beta stage as of now, but this is something very interesting going forward. So I can walk you through if you are interested here. So that's all about the rapid adopt. Any questions here? Thank you.